What's up, everybody? We're back at the Z Casino, Blackhawk, Colorado, doing another system video. We've covered all the long bet martingales or long odd martingales except for the single number, so we're going to do that today. We got $10 going in usual fashion. That's what we're going to start with. We're going to aim to start with 10 and play for 15 minutes. We don't know what's going to happen, but I think I'm going to do my favorite number. I know I said I was going to kind of go down to the 1, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit. And I'm going to go 17, and we're going to clear that. We're going to go 25 cent, and I'm going to do the hedge on the double dozen. So we're going to be targeting the 17 here, and basically what happens with this is, you get paid 35 to 1 on a number, and that gives you, if you want to martingale it, or always make sure that with your progression you're going to be profiting, you're going to want to stop after 17 spins and start your progression, or you could go all the way up to 34 units lost. In this case, we're risking 3 units right now, so we could roughly go 11 losses if we want to do a progression. Or, oh, I should have been playing the 1 like that. Unreal, I would have got it right away. But we hit our hedge, luckily, so we're going to get our money back, but that's just my luck, pretty standard. I told everybody I was going to work my way down and I was going to play the 1, but that didn't work out for me. So anyways, going back to what I was saying, you get basically 11 temps with the setup like this. If you were running a hedge with half the table, you would get more because you're risking less units. But with something like this, if you want a martingale, you're going to have to do it after every 5 spins if you want to stay ahead, or 5 losses, or you could go 6, but at some point you're going to run into the point where you're not profiting anymore and you would need to triple your bets or enter into the progression phase rather than the martingale. But once again, this is a single number with a hedge. Let's hope we can get that 17 here. Oh, 16 right next to, or not next to it, but one number away in terms of 16 being next to 17. All right, so we're going to rinse and repeat. That's going to be a miss, so that's going to be our first one. We're in for 10. We have a 3-unit loss. So once again, we're going to count down how many losses we get, and we're going to enter into the second level once we get our 5 losses here. So we'll see what happens. We'll hope that we don't go that deep or not past the second level anyway. The last one that we did on the split bet was the first one that we failed. I don't know if you saw that one, but if not, I'll put the link down in the description. But that was the first one that we failed on, and ironically, if I think about it, that loss outweighs all the gains that we had from the previous martingale systems that we did. So something to think about too. Whoa. All right, we get a 6, so that's going to hit our hedge, and once again, that's going to give us another shot. So far we have 1 loss, and we have 4 more losses to go until we do our progression. And just to go over the many different ways that you could play this, once again, you could do a half hedge. You could do a half hedge with 2 units rather than putting the 2 units on the first dozen and the last dozen, so that way you're profiting when you hit. But once again, you can customize any of these ways to your preferred style of play, and you don't have to play any set way or take any set approach. These are just real life demonstrations to show you what would happen in a real casino environment if you were to try a system like this. All right, so let's go for that win here. Number 17, come on. I'm feeling it, it's coming. Oh, look at that. Unreal, I said I was feeling it, it's coming. Look at that, it comes. All right, so look at that. That's a good example of when a system goes right. So we're in for 10 and 17.50. And once again, something like the system, it gets really exciting when you do hit because you're longer odds. So a little less than double my money out right there within 4 minutes. So once again, that's a example of when it goes right. Let's see if we can get a repeat. You'd be surprised how many times in roulette that you get a repeat. It's happened way more times than I've seen, than I would like to think it could happen. Some people actually play a system of repeats, so it's kind of interesting to think about. But getting back to the single number progression with a hedge, you're basically going to reset every time you get a hit. So we'll go through this for another 15 minutes of play, or 10 more minutes, and see where we're at. I don't want to cut it off right there. All right, so that's a 6, so that's going to land on our hedge. And then once again, I'm trying to go to 15 minutes so you guys can compare and contrast. I feel like it'd be a little short-sighted to end the video there, but that's once again another demonstration of when something goes right or goes your way. And if you want to look at it this way, if I get 3 3 hits, 4 hits, I recover my losses, or close to recovering my losses from the last session. So once again, this is the advantage of playing longer odds. And if you do start with more shallow odds, or let's say you're playing a 2-to-1 and you progress to a 5-to-1 and then 11-to-1, you know, you can always gain more units back through the next session by advancing the odds that you're playing, rather than increasing the amount of money that you're willing to risk or wager. So another thing to keep into consideration. But yeah, I'm really stoked that happened. 17 is my favorite number. I'm glad I played it. I was a little bummed when it hit the 1, but hey. All right, so that's a 12. So we're gonna get another hedge hit. And once again, there's no particular reason why I chose 17, other than the fact that it's my favorite number to play when playing roulette, because I see it hit every time, or pretty much every time I play, I've seen it hit. So I just favor it a lot. I've taken note of it hitting multiple times. Sometimes I've seen it 5, 6, 7 times in a session. So once again, it's just something that stands out to me. You don't have to play these particular numbers or do the set numbers that I do in these systems. You can pick anything you want. Just adjust your hedges based on where you're playing accordingly.
Thank you.
And then sometimes, you know, there's no science to it. It's kind of gambler's fallacy, but if you don't like playing the same number after it hits, you can move around numbers after too. But once again, I like sticking with the same one. Let's see. All right, 28. There's nothing worse than when you switch numbers and your number runs hot. Once again, when a number starts hitting, you know, 3, 4, 5 times within a 1 spin cycle, 36 spins or so, you get really disappointed that you moved around numbers. You're like, man. But hotter numbers, in my experience, I know this is going to sound kind of redundant or obvious, but hotter numbers definitely run hotter than colder numbers. If you're going to try and play colder numbers, I mean, there's no science to it again, but I would advise against it. I've chased cold numbers, and I want to say I've seen up to, 300 and something spins where I didn't get a hit on a number I thought it was for sure going to hit. So something to keep in mind as well is that don't be deceived by the the history list when you go to look at to see what numbers have hit. You can use it to kind of gauge what you want to play, but I wouldn't use it as a scientific way to approach any said system with a certain amount of logic. Oh, we get the 0. Look at that, complete loss.
The winning number is
But
0.
Another interesting thing is that for me to point out is that when I first started playing roulette and I started digging into all the various systems, this is one of the ones that I really played a lot at first, and I went after it because I love the 35-to-1 payout. I love how you can, you get, if you want to play 25-cent units and you want to sit here and just play for one number, I mean, you can bring $60 and sit here for a few hours, and if you're hitting your numbers, you're going to come out ahead quite a bit. So it is fun because when you do hit, you get rewarded, but you do have to go deep a lot in order to get a hit. So don't plan on getting hits quite frequently, but you will eventually. So something to keep in mind. Let's get another 17. Here it comes. I'm feeling it again. Smash it. Oh, 31 hits our hedge. So hopefully in this demonstration I'm going to be able to show 2 hits in once, which would be nice, especially considering when I played the split bet, which is 2 numbers. I didn't get any hits, and I went through, I think it was like $35 or so, or 4 different levels. So it's nice when you're running above expectation, as we are here, and we'll see if we can keep it up. But yeah, there's many different ways you can play one number. I do like this system. This is something that I do implement a lot in my regular play. I will target one number, and a lot of people will call them jackpot numbers. But you're basically, when you hit them, it's very rewarding and it feels really good. There's not many bets in a casino that pay out 35-to-1 or anywhere near there with the type of hit rate that you can get if you choose to play a system that targets single numbers. So something to keep in mind, and that's something we're going to go over in the future. But I do endorse playing this myself. So this is something that I do implement on a regular basis, and this is a mode of attack that I do take a lot. So something to keep in mind, other consideration. Coming from somebody that has a lot of experience playing, but that's just when you implement a system and playing a high variance game like roulette, the long odds that are available to you really do help mitigate that variance when you do run hot. It's a horrible situation when you're playing a lot of long odds and nothing's going your way, but when it is going your way, it's very rewarding. So I do consider these to be any kind of longer odds are definitely going to be higher variance, but once again, I think setting a limitation or a stop loss is always a good idea. and you know, you can kind of set your stop loss to give yourself a good chance to get ahead. All right, that's a 31, so that's going to be another hedge hit. But you can set your stop loss to give yourself a good chance to get ahead rather than, you know, digging in deeper. And a nice thing about this system too to consider is that, you know, let's say you want to play one session. You can say, okay, you know, I'm going to play one level. I'm going to go through all my bets, you know, so if you got, in this case, it would be 5 losses. So if I got 5 losses here, I would end this session, and then I would come back for another session, and then that's when I would martingale. I would put everything at 50 cents, and then I would go another 5 losses, and if I lost that session, I would take a break, you know, go eat, or maybe come back another day. But, you know, you can just kind of keep track of your sessions, and you don't really have to get caught up in the moment so much as you do with a 50-50 martingale. You know, each spin is very dependent upon the outcome of the event. When you're doing a 50-50 martingale, so a lot of it's spontaneous more so than planned out. Oh, we get another 0 hit.
The winning number is 0.
But it's really easy to get caught up in the emotions when you're doing a fast-paced system like a 50-50 martingale versus something like this that's a lot slower. So that's also something to take into consideration. And it looks like we're at the 11-minute mark, so we're gonna go. I think that was 2 losses, so this will be the 3rd loss. We'll see where we go from here, but we're going to try to get to the 15-minute mark, and then we'll see where we end up. I think at our best point, we're at 17.25, so, you know, almost double up or 3/4 of the way there. So we'll see if we can get another hit here and be over double, and we'll call it there, or we'll go to the 15-minute mark, and we'll see where we're at. But once again, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you get value out of this. I get value out of going over these systems and just reviewing my play and my thought processes. So thank you guys. I appreciate you. All right, that's a 3, so another hedge hit. I appreciate everybody that's been liking and subscribing and following along. The channel is growing tremendously, and we're just blown away by it. So once again, thank you so much. We really appreciate everybody. And I hope we can continue to provide you with some value through the entertainment, and you guys enjoy our videos and content. All right, let's hope for another hit. And once again, that was a hedge hit right there. So getting back to it, we got another hedge hit. We're only 2 losses in. We're going for 5 losses. So either we're going to stop at the end of the first level, or we're going to get a hit here. So let's see what we do. Or we'll stop after 15 minutes. 3 options. Let's see what one happens. Last time we went broke. At least we know we're not going to go broke this time. So let's get that 17, 14 right next to it. All right, so that's a 3rd loss. So this will be the 4th loss if we get a loss here. Otherwise, if we get a hit on the 17, it pays $9 right now, so that'll put us at $23.50, and we'll be looking like we're in pretty good shape there. So, but yeah, this is a higher variance system. You know, once again, some variations you can do with the hedges. You can move them around. You can add some for profit. You can try to martingale the hedges as well. So. Pick your poison, do as you wish. And let's hope for a 17 here. That'd be nice to get 2 in one session for you guys to see. Oh, 27. All right, that was going to go in the 0. So that's going to be a hedge hit.
The winning number is 27, red on.
All right, we're at 14 minutes, so we'll probably get 1 or 2 more spins here, and then we're going to end it. But I hope you guys have I've gone over the different dynamics and concepts or things that you can expect to see when attempting a system like this. Obviously, this is an attempt where we were successful, so this is going to be, you know, a good example of what happens when things go your way or go right. But they don't always go this way, so keep that in mind. Maybe I'll redo another video and we go to another level, but looks like we're not going to have to go past the 1st level on this video, so we're kind of fortunate in that regard. Unfortunate for demonstration purposes, though. All right, back to the action. All right, let's get that 17. I want 1 more hit. Let's go. Right here. Oh, way off. All right, so we get another miss.
The winning number is,
and I guess we're going to go 1 more time for the 15-minute sakes. Looks like we're at 14 minutes and 30 seconds. I don't want to short you guys. So this would be the last step of the 1st level. And we're going to cut it off there. So we're going to be up no matter what. No matter what, we're going to leave with $13.75. If If we get a loss here, that's where we'll end up. If we get a win here, we're going to end up at
Time is running
22.75,
out. Please place your bets.
which will be more than a double up. And we just passed the 15-minute
No
mark.
more bets. Thank you.
All right, let's get a hit. All right, come on, 17. Oh, 14. All right, so that's going to do it. It's going to be our last one. That's going to be a loss, and we would have lost all of our levels, so we're going to end it there. We're in for 10. We're going to cash out for $13.75. So we got a hit, and then we played through the first level once again. And, you know, once again, this is the single bet Martingale progression with a hedge. Z Casino, Black Hawk, Colorado. We're in for 10, out for $13.75. Stay tuned. I have more videos coming, more system videos. I'm cranking them out, so I appreciate everybody watching. Until next time.